Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama-shloke Bhaktir-bhavati Naishtiki. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीमद् भागवत गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I welcome you to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Today is May 2nd, 2026. And we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 8. Lord Krishna shows the universal form within his mouth. So yesterday we started reading about Sukadeva Goswami's answer to Parikshit Maharaj's question. Parikshit Maharaj's question was, what kind of pious activity or austerity or any sadhana did Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai do to get this type of love? What type of love? Putra Sneha, love for the Supreme Lord like their son. And such love that it is not broken, it is not disturbed, even when they, any situation for that matter, no situation, whenever, even when they see the greatness of the Lord, his Aishwarya Shakti, their love is never disturbed. They saw Krishna only as their son. They were never seeing Krishna ever, even for a moment, that maybe he is the Supreme Lord. How did they get this type of love? What is it that they did in the past lives that they got this type of love? This was the question. So, in answer, we saw Sukadeva Goswami began saying that once upon a time in Brahmaloka, the best of all Vasus, called Droṇa, and his wife called Dhara, they were prepared to carry out the order of Brahmaji. So you see, Brahmaji being the secondary creator of this universe, he's the one who is creating the various species. So when he creates somebody, he expects that they carry out his order. And he becomes pleased when somebody does that. And Brahmaji was very pleased with Drona and Dhara. He was a Vasu. Maharaj mentioned this, that Vasu was the son of Pracheta's daughter. Pracheta's daughter had 7 sons, or I think 8, right? 8 Vasus. So Drona is the best of all the Vasus, like that Maharaj explained. I don't know further about this. But the point is, he was the best of all Vasus and he was very obedient. He asked Brahmaji, he was prepared to serve Brahmaji along with his wife. At that time, Brahmaji gave them an order. When they approached Brahmaji and they were prepared to carry out his order, Brahmaji was very pleased and he gave them an order. What was the order? He said, both of you go to the earth planet, and where on earth planet? I want you to go to Mathura Mandala. And there I want you to do Gopalana. Gopalana means cow protection. So you see, cow protection is so important. Brahmaji wanted Drona to set example of cow protection. So you go specifically to the land of Mathura Mandala, and there, along with your wife, you go there and you do Gopalana, cow protection. And you teach others how to protect cows, how to take care of cows. You do it yourself and you set an example and you teach others how to do this. You serve the cows. This was Brahmaji's order to Drona and his wife Dhara. So when Brahmaji ordered like this, what did Drona say? That's the next verse. But before we do that, let us also read what Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying. Okay. So this was yesterday's verse, or what I said just now. So this is Prabhupada's translation. To follow the orders of Lord Brahma, Drona, the best of the Vasus, along with his wife Dhara, spoke to Lord Brahma in this way. That means that is not said in the verse, but Brahmaji ordered. How do we know? We know from the commentary that Brahmaji said, you go there and you protect cows. You do Gopalana. That means you take care of cows. You set example to others about taking care of cows by doing it yourself. So then after getting this order, after receiving this order, and he was prepared to do it, that's why he approached. And when Brahmaji gave this order, now Drona is speaking. So that will come in the next verse. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, because Krishna's appearance and his childhood pastimes are eternal, Nanda and Yashoda should also be Nitya Siddha, eternally liberated associates of the Lord. A sadhana siddha is not qualified to attain the same post as Nanda and Yashoda. So all this we discussed in yesterday's class. There is no need to go over the details. You can go back and listen to that about sadhana siddha, nitya siddha, how Yashoda Mai and Nanda Maharaj are actually nitya siddha devotees. And by practicing sadhana bhakti, it is not that one actually becomes Nanda or Yashoda, but you receive that a portion of that love from them when you are perfected. A sadhana siddha is not qualified to attain the same post as Nanda and Yashoda. Knowing this, and that his answer should be suitable to the devotional nature of the question, his answer should be suitable to the devotional nature of the question. What is the purpose of questioning? All the people who are listening there, they should be inspired. They should get that desire to also love Krishna. The way Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai is loving Krishna, they should get a desire. And then when they get that desire, they should be given a means. What is that means? That is sadhana. So that is the purpose of asking the question. So knowing this and that his answer should be suitable to the devotional nature of the question. That means the answer also should be given in such a way that it fulfills the purpose why that question was asked. Answer should be given in such a way that the purpose of Parikshit Maharaj will be met, right? His purpose was to inspire the audience, to give them some sadhana so that they can also, try. So Sukadeva Goswami replied to King Parikshit with an indifferent attitude. Why in an indifferent attitude? Knowing, so sadhana siddha. So you see, so he could have just not answered. But the question sounds so awkward, isn't it? What did Nanda Maharaj do to get that position means what? What will they have to do? They are eternally the associates of the Lord. Do they have to do something? And also if you are saying, because I want to inspire all the listeners. So the listeners, by following some sadhana, they will become Yashoda and Nanda or what? Nobody can become Nanda and Yashoda. That is also there, right? So that's why, that is one aspect, because nobody actually becomes Nanda or Yashoda by practicing any sadhana. Nor did Nanda Yashoda do some sadhana in order to get that position. It is not like that. That point is there. However, still, we want to inspire the listeners to take to the practice, to sadhana of devotional service. So that is the devotional nature behind the question. So the intention was to inspire the people to take to devotional service. So keeping both these things in mind, Sukadeva Goswami answered. But also he said it in an indifferent way, because it's not that Nanda Yashoda did something and therefore they achieved it. It's not like that. But still, you want to inspire the speakers, okay, I'm giving some answer. You understand? So that's why he said it in an indifferent way. Like that Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is explaining. So, yeah. So knowing this means knowing what? That a sadhana siddha can never become Nanda or Yashoda. Knowing this. And that his answer should be suitable to the devotional nature of question. He should also address the question of Parikshit Maharaj, his mood, his intention, that also has to be addressed. So that's why Sukadeva Goswami replied to King Parikshit with an indifferent attitude. Following the order of Brahma means the order to appear as Gopas and Gopis in Vrindavan. That is the order which is not mentioned yet here, but you will see. Here it is said that following the order of Brahmaji. What is that order? As I told you, the order is go and take birth on the land of Mathura Mandal in India, on the earth, and you do Gopalana, cow protection. Okay. So then when this order was given, what did Drona say to Brahmaji? So first is Sri Sukha Vacha Drono Vasunam Pravaro Dharaya Bharya Yasaha Karishyamana Adeshan. Adesh diye hai. Kaun? Brahmaji. Tam Uvachaha. So they were prepared to carry out the order of Brahmaji, And the order we know already, the order was that they should appear as Gopas and Gopis in Vrindavan. And what do Gopas and Gopis do? They protect cows. They take care of cows. So they should do that and teach others how to do it and set example. So then what happened after that? Today's verse. Jātayor mahādeve bhuvi viśveśvare harau bhaktiḥ syāt paramā loke yayāñjo durgatiṁ taret. So now Drona is speaking. Vasu, the best of the Vasus, Droṇa, is speaking to Brahmaji, who ordered them. So why he ordered them? Because they were very submissive and they wanted to carry out his order. So he ordered them to go to Mathura Mandal and there to do Gopalan. Gopalan means cow protection. So go appear as Gopas and Gopis. When they received this order, what did Drona say? He spoke like this. Jātayor mahādeve. After we take birth, jātayor now, both of us, that means husband and wife, after we have taken birth on earth, bhuvi, mahādeve viśveśvare harau bhaktiḥ syāt paramā loke yayāñjo durgatiṁ taret. So he's making a request here. Both of them are making a request. Droṇa and Dharā are praying, asking for something. What are they asking? Bhaktiḥ syāt paramā. That means paramā bhakti. When we take birth on the earth means wherever you have told us to go. That means when we go to Mathura Mandala and, we will be doing Gopalana. While we are there, kindly bless us that we may get paramā bhakti. Paramā bhakti means supreme love, right? Bhakti. For who? Mahādeve viśveśvare harau. So here Mahadev means, generally what do we think Mahadev means? Lord Shiva, right? Generally, when you say Mahadev, you think it is Lord Shiva. But here it is not Lord Shiva. Mahadev means, Dev means worshipable one, like Deva. Mahādeva means the greatest of all worshipable ones. Mahadev. That is one meaning of Dev. Dev means one who is worshipped. Another meaning of Dev is one who performs, one who plays. One who plays. Or you can say Dev can also mean, kridashil, who is performing many pastimes. So therefore, Mahadev means the supreme performer of pastimes. And again, Viśveśvare is said. Viśveśvare means he is the Ishvara, the controller of all controllers. So in this universe, there are many controllers. There is Indra, Chandra, Vayu, Varuna, Surya, Indra, so many. But he is the controller of all controllers. That means, the supreme, most attractive Lord of the universe who performs a supreme pastimes in Vraja. That Hari, towards that Hari, may we get paramā bhakti. This is the prayer. After we go there, both of us, husband and wife, while we are carrying out your order of Gopalana, taking care of cows, may we do this, carry out your order with supreme love, paramā bhakti, for Viśveśvara the Lord of, or the controller of all controllers, that means the most beautiful Lord, the Supreme Lord. Mahādeve means the one who performs, or the supreme performer of all wonderful pastimes, Balya Leela, childhood pastimes. Towards that Hari may we have paramā bhakti. Like this, Droṇa and Dharā prayed to Brahmaji. One thing that we should understand here is that in reality, what was the desire in their hearts? Their desire was to have a Lord Krishna as their son. And also this paramā bhakti means to have putra bhava, putra sneha, or vatsalya prema. They wanted the Lord, the Supreme Lord Viśveśvare, Mahādeve, the performer of supreme performer of pastimes, and Viśveśvare, the Lord of all lords, as their son in Vraja, and not just have him as their son, but they may have this love for him as their son only, not as, the Supreme Lord, right? As their son. They should have simply this putra sneha for the Lord. In fact, this was their desire. Please remember the context here. I'm telling you one more time. Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukadeva Goswami, why, how? Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai, how did they get this type of love, putra sneha, for Krishna, which is not there, like they are so fortunate. Krishna is always drinking Yashoda Mai's breast milk. Nanda Maharaj is so fortunate that his love for Krishna as his son is never disturbed under any circumstances. What did they do in their past lives? What did they do to get this type of love? That was the question. And the fortune that they got, even Vasudeva and Devaki didn't get that fortune. So in answer to that, what is Sukadeva Goswami saying? Once upon a time, there was the best of the Vasus called Droṇa and his wife, and they were prepared to carry out, they were very obedient and, prepared to carry out the order of Brahmaji. Then Brahmaji ordered them that I want you to go to the earth, and on earth also particularly to Mathura Mandala, and there I want you to do Gopalana, protect cows. That means you appear there as Gopa and Gopi and you take care of cows. This is my order. So when Droṇa, the best of the Vasus, Droṇa, heard this, he said this. You can say he submitted this prayer that, oh Brahmaji, when we go there as both of us, husband and wife, and we go there as Gopa and Gopi, and while we are protecting the cows, may we have love. What type of love? Paramā bhakti. For Viśveśvare, the controller of all controllers, and Mahādeve, the supreme performer of all pastimes, especially childhood pastimes. May we have love for that Lord, that Hari. Please bless us. This is what he said externally. But in his heart, what was the desire? He could not say it openly, that my desire is, I want to have, or we, husband and wife, we want to have that Lord Hari as our child. And also we want to have that love for him as parents have, just as, we just simply want to see him as our son. We want to have only that type of love for the Lord, that supreme love we want. That was the desire. But he couldn't say it outside. How would it look, right? Bless me that the Supreme Lord becomes my son. So he didn't say it, but that was the desire. But externally, in a very modest way, he said, may we get love for the Lord. Bhakti, he says, param bhakti. May we get param bhakti for that Lord Hari while we are there. But Brahmaji, he knows everything. What is there in your heart? He can understand. So therefore, even though externally he said that please bless us that we may get bhakti for the Lord, Brahmaji understood. So in future verses we will see, even though Drona didn't say it, Brahmaji will bless him that Supreme Lord will appear as your son and you will have putra prema for him. Like that he will say. You know, assuring him that yes, whatever you're desiring, it will be fulfilled, like that. So you are seeing the connection, how they got this prema. Further, we will see in the next coming verses also. But this is how Sukadeva Goswami is answering Parikshit Maharaj's question. And his answer also is giving very indifferently. So now with that background, let's continue reading. So the next verse, what did Drona say, right? This is what Drona said. Jātayor now mahādeve, hum dono waha, matlab now means both of us, husband and wife. Jātayor, after having taken birth. Then mahādeve, for Lord Mahadev means Krishna here. Bhuvi, after we have taken birth on the earth. Then for Mahadev, viśveśvare harau. Hari, who is Mahadev and who is also Viśveśvara. So Hari is Krishna. Mahadev means the supreme performer of pastimes. And Viśveśvara, he is the most beautiful form in the whole universe and the Lord of all lords, right? Bhakti syāt paramā loke, yayāñjo durgatiṁ taret. So we want that bhakti by which one can be delivered from very easily. One can very easily cross this ocean of material suffering, right? Miserable life. Durgatiṁ taret. Tar dena, matlab you can cross, right? Anjaha means very easily by that bhakti. So may we have that bhakti by which one can cross this. I guess cross means it should be an ocean, right? Durgatiṁ taret. Yayāñjo durgatiṁ taret. So translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Droṇa and Dharā said, please permit us to be born on the planet Earth so that after our appearance, the Supreme Lord, the Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Controller, Viśveśvare, and Master of all planets will also appear and spread devotional service, the ultimate goal of life, so that those born in this material world may very easily be delivered from the miserable condition of materialistic life by accepting this devotional service. So possibly Srila Prabhupada is giving this translation from another Acharya. I just explained it as His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj explained. And then we will also read Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. So this verse refers to their future lives. Mahādeve means one who has great pastimes. So future life means as Nanda and Yashoda. Now they are Droṇa and Dharā. So this verse is talking about when they appear as Nanda Yashoda. So Mahādeve means one who has great pastimes. Droṇa and Dharā would be born on the earth bhuvi, where the Lord would appear. Yes? Where the Lord would appear, that's why in the verse you don't see that directly. They're asking for bhakti. Bhakti for the Lord, like that they're saying. Okay, anyway, we'll just read here. So Droṇa and Dharā would be born on the earth where the Lord would appear. Viśveśvare means the Lord who maintains full power, though appearing within the material universe. According to the statement of Uddhava in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 2nd chapter, text 15, Krishna, the master of Narayan and Brahma, appeared along with his plenary portions such as Mahavishnu, Matsya and Kurma. In other words, Krishna is Purna or full. Hari means he who steals the mind. According to the logic of seeing the result, one can infer the cause. Matlab phalena parichiyate. By seeing the result, you can infer the cause. By seeing the fruit, you can guess which tree it came from, like that. So seeing the result, one can infer the cause. So using this logic, the words paramā bhakti must mean vatsalya bhakti, suitable to a mother and father. In the future, others who hear about and glorify the services we rendered to the cowherd boy Krishna will easily attain that most difficult to attain liberation. That means, in future, whoever hears about the services that Nanda Yashoda rendered to Krishna, anyone who hears about and glorifies, hears and sings the services rendered by Nanda Yashoda, they will be, such people will easily attain that most difficult to obtain liberation. Yayāñjo, durgatiṁ, taret. Right? Anjaha means very easily. Very easily they will get that liberation. How? Simply by hearing the wonderful activities performed by Nanda and Yashoda in rendering service to Krishna. In this way, Droṇa and Dharā performed pure sadhana bhakti and prayed for pure prema bhakti. It was different from the bhakti of Prishni and Sutapa, who performed bhakti mixed with austerity and yoga. This was explained previously. The result of their bhakti was also seen. So who is Prishni and Sutapa? That is Devaki and Vasudeva. Here we are talking about Nanda Yashoda. So Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai, they were Droṇa and Dharā. Okay. I'll read again. This verse refers to their future lives. Mahādeve means one who has great pastimes. Droṇa and Dharā would be born on the earth where the Lord would appear. The Lord, okay. Viśveśvare means the Lord who maintains full power, though appearing within the material universe. So this now what I'm reading is Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. Earlier what I explained was from the explanation of His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj. Maharaj does not necessarily explain for every verse, from where he's explaining. He takes from different authors also. But I just explained to you that way. But this is Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. So Viśveśvare means the Lord who maintains full power through appearing within the material universe. He is the Lord of the universe. According to the statement of Uddhava in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna, the master of Narayan and Brahma, appeared along with his plenary portions such as Mahavishnu, Matsya and Kurma. That means Krishna is Purna or full. So when Krishna comes, all these, that means even Lord Narayana from Vaikuntha, they all come down to participate. So you see, when Krishna is fighting and killing demons, then it is done by not directly by Krishna. They take that role. So that is why, but he is complete. Who are all of them? They're all his expansions only. So for example, Kshirodakshai Vishnu, he comes to participate in Krishna's Leela. And when Krishna is winding up, then they go back to their respective abodes. Like that. Similarly, The Lord's eternal associates are there. The demigods come. They come. And they also enter into the, to take part in the Leela. The demigods come along with the eternal associates. The demigods are also there. And when the Leela is over, the demigods are sent back to their respective abodes. And the eternal associates are eternally remaining in the abode. When you say Dwaraka in this world, or Mathura, Vrindavan, these are eternal abodes. That means the pastime is eternally happening there. The eternal residents are there, Krishna is there, the pastimes are happening. But at this time, they are aprakata, they are not visible. But when it is time for Prakata Leela, at that time, they become manifest, and also all these personalities from different parts of the universe also come to take part in the Leela, like that. So Krishna, when Krishna appears, then along with him, all the plenary portions such as Mahavishnu, Matsya Kurma, all the avatars, they all come and enter into Krishna. Krishna is Purna. Hari means he who steals the mind. Okay, that much is clear. Then this part. The logic of, 1 second. Hari means he who steals the mind. According to the logic of seeing the result, by seeing the result, one can infer the cause. Paramā bhakti must mean Vatsalya bhakti, suitable for a mother and father. So they are saying, what are they asking? That they want Paramā bhakti, Paramā bhakti. So what is that bhakti? Because they are desiring to be parents. So what is that bhakti? That must be Vatsalya prema. You can infer, like that it is being said here. Seeing the result, one can infer the cause. So here Paramā bhakti they want Paramā bhakti, and their desire is what? To have Krishna as their son. So if they have Krishna as their son, what type of bhakti will it be? Vatsalya prema only. So you can infer. When they're asking for Paramā bhakti, they're actually asking for Vatsalya prema. Okay. And also, in future, others who hear about and glorify the services we render to the cowherd boy Krishna will easily attain that most difficult to attain. So the last line. Bhakti syāt paramā loke means those people, loke means people, who hear about this bhakti of Yashoda Mai and Nanda Maharaj. What is their bhakti? Their wonderful services done to Krishna in Vatsalya Bhava. Anyone, people in this world, people who hear, who chant, right? What will they get? Yayāñjo durgatiṁ taret. जो एकदम difficult है, durgatiṁ, जो मिलना बहुत दुर्लभ है, उसको अंजसा. अंजसा means very easily. taret, मिल जाएगा. Okay. So this is being explained. फिर से I'll tell one more time. jātayor now mahādeve bhuvi viśveśvare harau. So Droṇa and Dharā, right? They are saying to Lord Brahma, after we have taken birth, here in Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, it is directly said that they are asking that may the Lord appear as their son. Droṇa and Dharā would be born on the earth where the Lord would appear. Where the Lord would appear. Viśveśvare means Lord. So mahādeve, the Lord will appear to us. That means both of us will take birth and the Lord also will appear to us on the earth. The Lord who performs pastimes, who is the Lord of the universe, Hari. That means we will be his parents. That is already said here. Or they are asking. And also, they should have Paramā bhakti. That means Vatsalya prema. And people who hear about their wonderful services, very easily they will be able to get that most difficult liberation, right? Crossing this material existence, all material miseries, they'll be able to cross. Like this, Droṇa and Dharā are praying to BRAHMAJI. Okay? So this is one explanation. Now what I read is Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's explanation. And the other one, what I told you, I'll tell that also one more time, is that they didn't say it here directly that they wanted Krishna as their son. Rather, they said, we want love, supreme love for Krishna. Huh? And but they didn't say it openly that they wanted him as their son. But they had that in their heart. That desire was there. Actually, they wanted Krishna as their son, and they wanted to have this love for him like a parent. Okay? So now let's read translation and purport. I think we read the translation. I'll just read it one more time. Droṇa and Dharā said, please permit us to be born on the earth, on the planet Earth, so that after our appearance, the Supreme Lord, the Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Controller and Master of all planets, will also appear. So you see, and spread devotional service. So this bhakti, here it is said, bhakti syāt paramā loke means the Lord will also appear with us and he will spread bhakti, like that. It is explained here. And spread devotional service, the ultimate goal of life, so that those born in this material world may very easily be delivered from the miserable condition of materialistic life by accepting this devotional service. So he will come and he will spread devotional service, and by that, people of this material world, they will be delivered by accepting this devotional service. Okay, purport. This statement by Droṇa clearly indicates that Droṇa and Dharā are the eternal father and mother of Krishna. Whenever there is a necessity of Krishna's appearance, Droṇa and Dharā appear first, and then Krishna appears. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that his birth is not ordinary. Janma karma cha me divyam. Janma cha means and. Karma. Janma karma cha me divyam. Ajopisan avyayatma. Ajaha. That means he has no birth. On one hand, my birth, that means he has a birth, but it is not birth like yours and mine. This is different. It is divyam, transcendental. Therefore, if you want to say birth is like ours, then he's saying ajaha, I have no birth. No birth like we do. Ajopisan avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropisan prakritim swam adhishtaya sambhavamyatma mayaya. Because he's appearing through his atma maya, his internal energy. Whereas we are taking birth through the external energy. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all sentient beings, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. Bhagavad Gita 4:6. Before Krishna's appearance, Droṇa and Dharā appear in order to become his father and mother. It is they who appear as Nanda Maharaj and his wife Yasoda. Okay? In other words, it is not possible for a sadhana siddha living being to become the father or mother of Krishna, for Krishna's father and mother are already designated. But by following the principles exhibited by Nanda Maharaj and Yasoda and their associates, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, ordinary living beings may attain such affection as exhibited by Nanda and Yasoda. So this point also we discussed yesterday, right? By following the principles exhibited by Nanda Maharaj and Yasoda, that would be Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, then, or either Nanda Maharaj, Yasoda, or their associates. Who are their associates? Inhabitants of Vrindavan. Because Raganuga Bhakti is done only to go to Vraja, not anywhere else. So if you want to go to Vraja, you have to follow the inhabitants of Vraja. Then by doing that, ordinary living beings may attain such affection as exhibited by Nanda and Yasoda. When Droṇa and Dharā were requested to beget children, Brahmaji said, "Na, you should go." Then they chose to come to this world to have the Supreme Personality of Godhead as their son Krishna. So this was the desire in the heart. And Brahmaji understood that they wanted Krishna as their son, and they wanted to have that love for him as Vatsalya Prema for him. So they chose to come to this world to have the Supreme Personality of Godhead as their son, Krishna. Krishna's appearance means paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. The devotees are protected and the miscreants are vanquished. Whenever Krishna comes, he distributes the highest goal of life, devotional service. He appears as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the same purpose, because unless one comes to devotional service, one cannot be delivered from the miseries of the material world. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam, where the living beings struggle for existence. So here, the thing is, whenever Krishna comes, he distributes the highest goal of life, devotional service. How is Krishna doing that? Krishna is performing pastimes with his devotees. So now you have those pastimes to hear about, to chant, to remember. So you are getting an opportunity to render devotional service. When he performs these pastimes, and he leaves his instructions also in the form of Bhagavad Gita behind. So from this, we are getting opportunities to render in devotional service. Whenever Krishna comes, he distributes the highest goal of life, devotional service. He appears, but when he's coming as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is doing? He is actually personally rendering devotional service, setting example to us, showing us how to do devotional service. He appears as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the same purpose, because unless one comes to devotional service, one cannot be delivered from the miseries of the material world. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam, where the living beings struggle for existence. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 15:7, Mamaivamsho jiva loke jiva bhutah sanatanaha manah shashtani indriyani prakritisthani karshati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Because of conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind, unquote. The living entities are struggling to become happy, but unless they take to the bhakti cult, their happiness is not possible. So what is the main word here? Prakritisthani karshati, karshati. They're struggling. The living entities are struggling in this, situated in this prakriti. So if you want to become happy, you have to take to bhakti. Krishna clearly says, Ashraddhadhana purusha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapya mamni vartante mrityu samsara vartmani. Those who have no shraddha, ashraddhadhana, they won't get me. Aprapya mamni vartante. Right? They will not attain. Without shraddha, can you go? No. Mrityu samsara vartmani. You will be stuck in this cycle of birth and death if you don't have faith. Those who are not faithful on the path of devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of foes, but return to birth and death in this material world. So therefore, for bhakti, what is the qualification? Dhrida Shraddha is the only qualification. And if you don't have Shraddha, Krishna is saying, aprapya, you cannot get him. You cannot attain. You cannot get Bhagavad Prapti. You will have to keep taking birth again and again in this material world. Foolish persons do not know how risky life is here. Foolish persons do not know how risky life is here. How risky is life here if one does not follow the instructions of Krishna. The Krishna consciousness movement therefore has been started so that by practicing Krishna consciousness, one can avoid the risky life of this material existence. There is no question of accepting or not accepting Krishna consciousness. It is not optional. Do we preach like this? It is essential for everybody. It is not optional. Oh, this is what we do. This is our, our organization and these are our practices. And no. That's not the approach. Krishna consciousness is for everybody. Everyone has to do it if they have to be saved. Otherwise, life is very risky. There is no question of accepting or not accepting Krishna consciousness. It is not optional. It is compulsory. Not that because we have taken initiation, therefore for us it is, and for others. No, for everybody, anyone, everybody it is. And especially if you're in this material world. Foolish persons do not know how risky life is here if one does not follow the instructions of Krishna. The Krishna consciousness movement, therefore, has been started so that by practicing Krishna consciousness, one can avoid the risky life of this material existence. There is no question of accepting or not accepting Krishna consciousness. It is not optional, it is compulsory. If we do not take to Krishna consciousness, our life is very risky. Everything is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, to learn how to become free from the miserable condition of material existence, Bhagavad Gita as it is the preliminary study. Preliminary study. That's not all. It is the preliminary study. Then, if one understands Bhagavad Gita, one can proceed to Srimad Bhagavatam. And if one advances further, one may study Chaitanya Charitamrita. We are therefore presenting these invaluable books to the whole world so that people may study them and be happy being delivered from miserable conditional life. So, what did we understand from this verse? Many points are said. First of all, Droṇa and Dharā, they are eternal father and mother. It is not that somebody called Droṇa and Dharā, by doing some particular sadhana, then they became Nanda and Yashoda. They became the father and mother of Krishna. No. How Prabhupada is proving that? From Bhagavad Gita's verse. Krishna is saying, Janma karma chame divyam. If Krishna's birth is transcendental, can his mother be material? Father and mother, they also have to be transcendental. If the birth is transcendental, then his father and mother also have to be transcendental. And then further, Krishna himself is saying, Ajopi san, I have no birth. That means his birth is not material. So he's coming through his Atma Maya, he's coming through his internal energy. So naturally, his parents are also eternal. If his birth is eternal, transcendental, his parents are also transcendental, they are eternal. So whenever the Lord appears, his parents come first. That's the point we should understand. It's not like some person by performing sadhana has become Nanda Yashoda. Not like that. Before Krishna's appearance, Droṇa and Dharā appear in order to become his father and mother. So it is they who appear as Nanda Maharaj. So Droṇa and Dharā is Nanda Maharaj Yashoda only. So when they come to this material world also, it's like you're descending. It's not that directly from, you directly appear. They can first come in the heavenly planets. About Uddhava also we see. Uddhava was also Vasu. So first they take birth there, and then from there, then they come down to the earth planet, like that. So Droṇa and Dharā appear first so that they can come as the father and mother of Krishna. And then they appear as Nanda and Yashoda. So point is, by doing sadhana bhakti, a living entity cannot become Krishna's father, mother. They cannot become Nanda, Yashoda. That's the point here. Then they chose to have the Supreme Lord as their son. So why the Lord is appearing? So here Srila Prabhupada is making the point that when the Lord appears, the living entities are benefiting, of course. See, the thing is, Krishna, he comes, even that verse, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam, that verse is explained by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur to mean that Paritranaya sadhunam, here sadhus means his pure devotees. he's coming to deliver his pure devotees. Deliver from what? They are in separation from the Lord. For them, every moment is like, 12 yugas or something. Yugayitam nimeshena, chakshusha pravrishayitam, shunyayitam jagat sarvam, govinda virahenam. So the devotees are feeling separation from Krishna. So to deliver them from that suffering, what type of suffering? Separation from him. He comes. Paritranaya sadhuna means he's coming for his devotees. Vinashaya cha dushkritam, to kill the dushkritina. Who is the dushkritinas? Not, if it is just killing some, like Hitler or somebody, the Lord can simply send his Prakriti can take care of it. If by one hurricane they can be drowned and killed. But there are certain special dushkritinas, like Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, who cannot be destroyed by Prakriti. Why? Actually, they're also devotees only, isn't it? So for their sake, the Lord personally comes to destroy them. Vinashaya cha dushkritina. Right? So he's coming for that. So here, killing to destroy the miscreants means not ordinary miscreants. These are special miscreants. For their sake, he'll come. Otherwise, all other miscreants, his servants can take care of that. He doesn't have to come personally. But for special miscreants, he comes. Dharma samsthapanarthaya. What is the dharma samsthapana? Bhakti. Not just, he's not coming to establish varnashrama dharma. He's not coming to, not those dharmas. That already he gave in Shastras, and his assistants, the Manus, are establishing it, right? And then there are the kings who are establishing it. He doesn't come for that because he only deals with bhakti. So when he's establishing dharma, what type of dharma is he establishing? He's establishing bhakti. So this is how it is explained. So here Srila Prabhupada is also saying that the Lord is come, when the Lord comes, Krishna's appearance means paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkritam, devotees are protected, miscreants are vanquished. Whenever Krishna comes, he distributes the highest goal of life, devotional service. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did that by personally setting example. So why? Because living entities in this conditioned state are suffering in this material existence. Prakriti sthani karshati, they're struggling very hard. And he's giving this path, bhakti, the path of devotional service. He's giving the path of devotional service for these people who are struggling in this material existence. But in spite of that, all the opportunities that are given, if one does not develop faith in that bhakti, what is the result? Aprapya maham nivartante, mrityu samsara vartmani. They will simply go, travel, transmigrate in this cycle of birth and death. If you don't develop your firm faith, dhrida shraddha in bhakti, then you'll simply continue in the cycle of birth and death in the material existence. Foolish persons don't know. Why they don't develop faith? Because of foolishness, right? They don't know how risky life is here without following Krishna's instructions. See, if one category is those who never came in the association of devotees, they don't know anything about bhakti. That is one category. But those who already came in the association of devotees, they are given mercy. You even got the seed of bhakti from the spiritual master. And in spite of that, if they don't develop that firm faith, they are not endeavoring to come to the stage of pure devotional service, surrendering everything to Krishna and engaging only in devotional service all the time. They're not even attempting for that, but they're happy in this material world. We are attached to our comforts in this world. Then that is foolishness, because we don't understand how risky life is in this material world. And then therefore we don't develop faith, right? Foolish persons do not know how risky life is here if one does not follow the instructions of Krishna. So this movement is started so that by practicing Krishna consciousness, you can avoid this risky life of material existence. These points are important. It's not a choice that, oh, we will follow the instructions if we like, and no, I don't have time now. My lifestyle does not permit me to do all the things that Srila Prabhupada has said. It's not an option. Just read. It's not optional. It is compulsory. And if you don't do this, it's clearly said it is compulsory, it is not optional. In spite of reading and hearing this, if you don't become serious, that means ashraddha. There's no shraddha. If you're not following it strictly, you're not taking it as your life's mission. If you're not, adjusting your lifestyle to make this happen, that means it's ashraddha. You don't have faith. Then what is the result? Life in this material world is very risky. It's very risky. Prakriti sthani karshati. You'll simply be traveling in this material existence life after life after life, from one body to another. You'll be stuck in this cycle of birth and death. So there is no question of accepting or not accepting Krishna consciousness. It is not optional, it is compulsory. When we see the urgency, then we will practice, and we will also feel the urgency for everyone else around us. If we do not take to Krishna consciousness, our life is very risky. Everything is explained in Bhagavad Gita. To learn how to become free from the miserable condition of material existence, Bhagavad Gita as it is the preliminary study. What is Srila Prabhupada emphasizing here? Study. Why did he stay up late nights to write these books? Bhagavad Gita first, then Srimad Bhagavatam, then Chaitanya Charitamrita. You're seeing the connection, right? Life is very risky. Then how to come out of this? To learn how to become free from this material condition. To learn how to become free from this miserable condition of material existence. You have to hear and study Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study. Start with Bhagavad Gita, then Bhagavatam, then Chaitanya Charitamrita. If we don't do out of foolishness, then we will simply be stuck in the cycle of birth and death. I think we can stop Srimad Bhagavatam reading here for today. This is just one verse. But the flow is like this. Lord Brahma asked Droṇa and Dharā to go to the earth, Mathura Mandala, and do Gopalana, cow protection. Then Droṇa and Dharā prayed to Brahmaji that after we go there and take birth as husband and wife, so there are two explanations here. This is I'm telling you Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's first. Then after we take birth, the Lord, Mahādeve, viśveśvare, the Supreme Lord, Mahādeva, the performer of supreme childhood pastimes, he will also appear there as our son, right, on this earth. Hari, he will appear as our son. And what will he do? He will spread this bhakti. He will expand this bhakti, so that by this bhakti, the people in this material world, by practicing that bhakti, can very easily attain liberation from the miserable material existence. Okay? So, for that, how Srila Prabhupada explained that the Lord is appearing. Actually, the Lord's birth is transcendental. So here he said the Lord will also appear, right? Mahādeve, viśveśvare, harau means the Lord will appear. We will appear there, and the Lord will also appear on the earth. So the Lord's appearance is not material, it is transcendental. Therefore, his parents are also not material, they are transcendental. First, the parents are sent, then the Lord will come. Every time. So Dhara and Droṇa and Dharā, they are actually not material personalities who practice sadhana and therefore became parents. They're actually his eternal parents. First, they come as Droṇa and Dharā, and then they appear as Nanda, Yashoda on the order of Brahmaji. Okay. But actually, Krishna's birth is transcendental. His parents are also transcendental. That's one point. Then when the Lord appears, of course, he's performing wonderful pastimes. And then by performing these pastimes, he's actually, so if you see Krishna by his pastimes, and also you can say by his example also. Because when he comes, he's also, well, Yadhyadacharati Shreshtas. He's giving instructions also, isn't it? He's teaching about bhakti. Bhagavad Gita, isn't he teaching about bhakti? In Uddhav Gita, isn't he teaching about bhakti? Yes, he's teaching. So he's teaching about this bhakti, this supreme bhakti, he's teaching. Krishna is teaching. So when he comes, he appears and he's teaching this bhakti so that people can take to this bhakti and they can be delivered from this material existence. Okay? So then the teachings of Krishna, now Srila Prabhupada is saying, how, so for these people in this material existence, he's saying, Krishna is coming. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So that dharma samsthapanarthaya means bhakti only. He's coming to teach bhakti. He's coming to teach bhakti. He's giving us Bhagavad Gita. He's giving us Uddhav Gita. He's giving his instructions about what we should do, what is the goal of life, and how to practice it. These people, even after hearing the instructions of the Lord, not even after hearing, first of all, these people are just lost in material existence in this world. They think this life is all in all, this family is everything, my community is everything, and just I have to earn wealth and I will live happily ever after. This is the illusion created by Maya. But the fact is, it's very risky. Nothing is going to stay in our hands. We have to learn how to get out of this. How do we learn? The path that the Lord, when he comes, is giving us the path, bhakti path. In Bhagavad Gita is giving, in Bhagavatam is giving, in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Charitamrita is full of instructions of the Lord. Everywhere he goes, you see, he's having discussions and he's giving so many teachings. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, so many devotees he met on the way. The Tattvavadi philosophers, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. He's giving so many instructions about bhakti. He's teaching. So that's why Srila Prabhupada is saying the preliminary book is Bhagavad Gita. You should have faith. If you don't have faith, how will you get faith? This is also a wonderful connection actually. Dhrida Shraddha. What is the definition of Dhrida Shraddha? Definition is Shastrartha Vishwasaha. Dhrida Shraddha means conviction in the conclusion of Shastra. So for you to get conviction in the conclusion of Shastra, first you should know what is Shastra, what is there in the Shastra. You should have faith in Shastra in the first place. And then you will get faith in the conclusion of Shastra, conviction in the conclusion of Shastra. And that conviction is called Dhrida Shraddha. And Dhrida Shraddha is the qualification for us to begin bhakti, pure devotional service. And what is the verse that Prabhupada quoted there? Ashraddha dhana purusha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapyamam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. Ashraddha dhana purusha, jiske paas shraddha nahi hai, those who don't have shraddha, they cannot attain me. They will be stuck in this material existence. Bhagavad Gita, this is the preliminary study. Here Krishna is saying. So then how to get this Shraddha? Without Shraddha, you cannot get out of this cycle of birth and death. You cannot reach Krishna without Shraddha. How to get Shraddha? Srila Prabhupada is saying, you must learn how to come out of this material existence by studying books like Bhagavad Gita first. That's the preliminary study. And then the next is Srimad Bhagavatam. And then Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. What is the connection of this with the verse? Because there Droṇa and Dharā are saying that when we appear there, the Lord will also appear. And then he will propagate this bhakti, supreme bhakti, taking to which the suffering people in this material world, they can cross this material existence, they can get the highest liberation. So when he is coming, he is giving us the path of bhakti. When Krishna comes, he is giving us Bhagavad Gita, Uddhav Gita. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, he is also giving so many instructions about bhakti. Whatever books we have from our Goswamis, Srila Rupa Goswami has given us Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And so all Srila Jiva Goswami has given us the Sandarbhas and so many other books they've given. Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Gopal Bhatt Goswami. So these books, from where they have come? Rup Goswami, Sanatan Goswami were personally instructed, trained by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Same thing, whatever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed, they have given that in the form of books, quoting from Shastras, all Shastras, completely authentic. So what is Prabhupada saying? You must take it. Foolish people, they don't understand how risky this life in the material world is. Foolish people don't understand and waste their valuable human form of life in some material activity, thinking those to be very important right now. But the result of that will be you'll simply be stuck here in the cycle of birth and death. After this life, you'll get another birth and another one. You'll be stuck in this material world. Foolishly, we shouldn't think that we are becoming liberated, we are going back. No. What do you need? You need Shraddha. Ashraddha dana purusha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapyamam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. Then for Shraddha, what do you need? Shraddha means Shastrartha Vishwa. Where will we run away from Shastra? That's our only shelter. Shastra is only telling us how you should do bhakti. What is the goal of life? You learn from Shastra. You cannot just imagine yourself. That's why all our acharyas are giving us books. Shastra is essential. Srila Prabhupada is saying, and what is that Shastra? The Lord is only giving us Bhagavad Gita, his instructions. Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Lord's instructions. Srimad Bhagavatam also has the Lord's instructions. And also you have examples from the devotees' lives. So we have to study and get Shraddha. And when we get Dhrida Shraddha, then we will begin pure devotional service. By that, we can attain Bhagavad Prapti. That's the point. The shloka, only shloka, when I heard the lecture, because it is said like a story. Yeah? So I just heard that and I thought, oh, okay. I didn't think there is so much inside. But while I was talking to, when I saw Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary explained in a different way than how I heard, and then when I read Srila Prabhupada's purport, my God. And I'm sure this is still just some superficial little bit, whatever I understood. Actually, there will be so much inside that. That's why it's like an ocean. It's like an ocean, It's like you have to keep, diving in. Anyway, so let's read Bhagavad Gita now. So we did one verse today. No problem. We'll go slowly. So tomorrow we'll start with text 50 and now we'll read Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita also, I'm actually going to explain to you what we read yesterday because we didn't get a chance to discuss. We just read the verse 11. So you see, this is the verse very quickly. So you'll see the context here, how the flow is going. So Krishna began his instructions. So initially he said, now I'm going to give you that knowledge once again, knowing which, you can get or great sages have gotten the highest result. This is the best of all types of knowledge. And anyone who takes shelter of this knowledge, he will get, sadharmyam agata, mama sadharmyam agata. That means they will also be, the way the Lord is not conditioned by the modes, he will also transcend all the modes like that. He'll get the same position as the Lord. And then he will not have to take birth whenever there is creation, and he will not be annihilated whenever there is annihilation, like that. So then Krishna begins his instructions. So then he's saying, this Mahat Brahma means this Prakriti. Prakriti is my yoni. My yoni means where I impregnate, right? So this Prakriti is my yoni, where I impregnate. And then Tasmin Garbham Dadamyaham. I am giving that embryo, Garbham, to this Prakriti. Sambhava Sarva Bhutanam Tato Bhavati Bharata. So all the living entities, they're taking birth from this Garbha only, that I am impregnating. So what is that? That is my yoni, that is Prakriti. Then Sarva yonishu kaunteya murtaya sambhavantiyaha tasam brahma mahad yonir aham bija pradapita. All different types of yonis that you see, because in this world also the dog, mother dog, mother tiger, mother demigod, mother human being, so many mothers are there, yonis, right? Wombs. But it's not that they are the cause of all living beings. The cause is who? This Mahad Yoni. Because if you go that my mother, then who's the cause of, or you say my father, who's the cause of my father? His father, his father. Like that you go back, it goes to Brahmaji. And Brahmaji is caused by the Supreme Lord. So he's the Supreme Father. Who is the Supreme Mother? Prakriti. Like that. Aham bija pradapita. So for everyone, each one of us, the father is the Supreme Lord and the mother is Prakriti. Then we started. Sattvam rajas tamaiti guna prakriti sambhavaha nibadnanti mahabaho dehinam avyayam. So now this Prakriti is consisting of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And by these three modes, this Prakriti is tying nibadnanti, who this living entity. That means the bodies are made of these three modes. And then the living entity is bound in this body. The body is made of what? The three modes. So these three modes are binding, keeping the living entity inside the body. The body is also made of the modes, but they are bound by these three modes. They're bound by these three modes inside this body. So Prakriti is consisting of these three modes. Tatra Sattvam, then we are seeing the qualities of each of these three modes. Tatra Sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakam anamayam sukha sangena badhnati jnana sangena janaga. So qualities, what are the symptoms or qualities of Sattva Guna? Nirmalatvat, that means it is pure. Prakashakam, illuminating. Anamayam, that means there is no sins involved. And then Sukha Sangena and Jnana Sangena. So it is accompanied by happiness and knowledge. So these are the qualities of Sattva Guna. Then Rajoguna, Ragatmakam Viddhi Trishna Sanga Samudbhavam. Raga means what? Attachment. Trishna, hankering. Right? So these are the symptoms of Rajoguna. There is great attachment and great hankering. You want more and more. And because of this hankering, karma sangena, you'll be attached to karma. What type of karma? Fruitive work. Work. Because you're attached to the result, you'll work like anything to gain that result. And by this, nibadhananti kaunteya, you're bound. This Rajoguna is binding you. Binding you with what? This Trishna, hankering. And because of that Trishna, workaholic, right? You're working like anything. This is the symptom of Rajoguna, mode of passion. And what is the quality of mode of ignorance? Tamastvajnana jam viddhi mohanam sarvadehinam. This tamaha, that means mode of ignorance, ajnana jam viddhi, it is born of darkness or ignorance. Ajnana means ignorance. Tamaha means darkness. So this darkness, this mode of darkness, or you call mode of ignorance, it is born out of ignorance. Mohanam is delusion, sarvadehinam. It throws everyone, all the living entities into delusion. So they're opposites. Sattva guna shows you things as it is. Tamoguna shows you the opposite thing. That means that which is not there, it shows you as it is there. This is Tamoguna's quality. Darkness, just like Sattva-guna is illuminating, Tamoguna means darkness, opposite. In light, you can see things as they are. When there is no light, you cannot see things that are there, and you start seeing things that are not there, isn't it? In darkness, you don't see things that are there, that is there. But you also start seeing things that are not there. If you are in a pitch dark room, what do you experience? Maybe there is a snake. Maybe nothing is there, but you start seeing those things, imagining those things, right? Maybe there's a lizard here, or maybe there's a snake there, or maybe there's cockroaches. You don't know what. They're not there, but you're seeing. And that which is there, you don't see. There is some table, some soap. You're not seeing anything, and you go and bump into things because you're not seeing what is there, and you're seeing what is not there. This is the quality of darkness, mode of ignorance. So mode of ignorance means things that are actually there, you don't see. And what is not there, you're seeing that. So same thing applies when you hear also. If you are in the mode of ignorance, what is said, the actual meaning you're not able to grasp. But you will grasp some imagined meanings of what is said because of the influence of the mode of ignorance. And mode of goodness, you will be able to take things as they are said, exactly as they are said. This is the influence of the mode of goodness. That is why being in the mode of goodness is essential for us to get that Dhrida Shraddha. Then you'll be able to grasp the meaning as it is. And then you'll get your Dhrida Shraddha, isn't it? And Rajoguna is in between. Rajoguna means confusion. You're not sure. Maybe this, maybe not that, like that. But ignorance means opposite. Opposite you take as the reality. Okay. Go back. So, tamastvajnana jam viddhi mohanam sarvadehinam. That's why you're in delusion, because it's giving you all opposite knowledge. Pramada, alasya, nidra. These are the symptoms. Pramada means Srila Prabhupada translated as madness. That means because you don't see things as they are. You don't see things as it is. You don't do what you're supposed to do at that time. You won't do it. Right? You won't do whatever is supposed to do. You won't do. Alasya, laziness. Nidra, sleep. These are all symptoms of ignorance. And by these, one is bound. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati rajah karmani bharata jnanam avritya tu tamaha pramade sanjayityuta. So how they are binding you? Sattva guna is binding you by happiness. You become attached to that happiness. That means now you are attached to the happiness coming from Sattva guna, and that attachment to happiness is keeping you in this material existence. Rajaha karmani bharata. And in Rajoguna, you're attached to doing karma because you're attached to the result. So you want to keep doing working. So because of that, also, you're bound to material existence. And then tamoguna is pramada, right? You're bound by madness. Rajas tamas chabhibhuya sattvam bhavati bharata. Rajas sattvam tamas chaiva tamas sattvam rajas tatha. So, this Sattva-guna surpasses Rajoguna and Tamoguna sometimes. And at other times, Rajoguna surpasses Sattva-guna and Tamoguna. And still other times, Tamoguna surpasses Sattva-guna and Rajoguna. That means the three are always competing with each other. All three will be there together. It is never possible that in any object or in anything in this material existence, there's only one mode, or there's only two modes, one is missing. It is never possible. At least 1% of the other two will be there. Even if one is 99.98% or 99.99% also, there will be some percent of the other two. All three have to be there at all times. But the thing is, that's not a permanent situation. They're competing. One may be 99% now, but then the other one will come and, put this one down and that one will come up. So they're constantly competing with each other. That's what is being said. That's why even being in Sattva Guna is not a safe place, because it's not permanent. As soon as your senses come in touch with, or you come into, senses or your mind, right? Come in touch with an environment, a different environment. Like if you're a Sattva Guna person, you come in the association of Rajoguna, then your thing will change. Now you will also come, all your intelligence, your senses, they're all influenced by Rajoguna now. So your Sattva Guna position is not stable. So it's not intelligence to be satisfied being in Sattva Guna. You use Sattva Guna to transcend. That's why this Varnashrama Dharma you're following to be in Sattva Guna. Not that by following Varnashrama Dharma you're getting Shuddha Bhakti. Who said that? Shuddha Bhakti you will get when you get Dridha Shraddha. But to get Dridha Shraddha, you have to be in the mode of goodness so that you can grasp things as it is, whatever Shastra is saying. If you're not in Sattva Guna, you don't understand, as we are seeing in this chapter. Rajoguna means confusion, you don't know. Tamoguna means opposite. So if you are influenced by Rajotama Gunas, even if you hear Shastra, you don't get the conclusion. You'll get some other meanings and we'll be fighting. No, not this, not that, not this. We forget what is the real purpose. You see? But if you're in Sattva Guna, you'll understand why it is being said and what I'm supposed to grasp from this. You take the message and you move forward in Bhakti. In that way, Varnashrama Dharma is essential to keep us in Sattva Guna. So Sattva Guna, important. But can we say simply Varnashram Dharma is everything? Right? Varnashram, Varnashram, Varnashram. The bus. Once we are following Varnashram, that is sufficient. No, you'll remain in Sattva Guna. That's all. Sattva Guna is also material after all. Varnashram, simply following Varnashram is not pure devotional service. That's not pure devotional service. Pure devotional service means anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma dhyanavritam anukulena krishnanushilanam. That is pure devotional service. But to come there, what do you need? You need firm faith. We read today also in the purport. Shraddha is important. Ashraddha dana purusha dharma syasya parantapa. Aprapya mam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. Without Shraddha, you cannot get anything. Mahaprabhu also says that by doing karma, one can never get Krishna Prema. Only Shravanam Kirtanam can give you Krishna Prema. So, but we don't have Shraddha, what should we do? If we don't have Shraddha, then we have to do karma. Shraddha means you'll do only Shravanam Kirtanam 24 hours. But I don't have that. I can only do for 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours. After that, I'm tired. I cannot do. Okay, then do some karma. But that karma also, you do it in the mode of goodness. So it will keep you. Use that also to be in the mode of goodness. That's all. If you follow Varnashrama Dharma, that means simplified lifestyle. Then you'll be in the mode of goodness. Being in the mode of goodness, you use that to build your Shraddha. Okay. I have to cover today's topic also. So this competition is going on always. Okay. Now what we read yesterday was Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate jnanam yada tada vidyad vivriddham sattvam ityuta. Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate. How can you tell that a person is influenced by Sattva Guna? So we said earlier, what are the symptoms of Sattva Guna? We said, right? Symptoms of Sattva Guna means it is nirmalam and prakashakam, anamayam, jnana sange, sukha sange, like that it is said. These are the symptoms of Sattva Guna. How do you know? Or how can you tell that now this person is in Satoguna. This is how it is expressed. Sarva dvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate. All the holes in the body are illuminated by Satoguna. What are the holes in the body? We have 9 holes. 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 1 mouth. 5. So these are in the front. Okay. 5 holes, or then dwara means doors or entrance. 5 holes are in the front, 2 are on the sides, ears, and 2 are down. Okay. So 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 2, 9. So there are 9 openings. When all these holes are illuminated by Sattva-guna, what does that mean? When all your holes are illuminated by Sattva-guna, Jnanam yada tada vidyat vivriddham sattvam ityuta. That means they are illuminated by Jnanam, it is said. When all the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge. Knowledge is the outcome of Sattva-guna. Knowledge is the outcome of Sattva-guna. You see, these holes are illuminated by knowledge means they should be. So when your senses are coming in contact with objects that are in Sattva-guna, like your eyes are seeing objects that are in Sattva-guna, then your eyes are illuminated by knowledge. Knowledge is the outcome of Sattva-guna. When your ears are grasping objects, that means sound vibrations, that are in Sattva-guna, then your ears become illuminated by knowledge. When your tongue is coming in contact with objects that are in Sattva-guna, that means you're eating food that is sattvic, fresh fruits, like that, fresh foods which are juicy, like that. Then your tongue becomes illuminated by knowledge. And also another thing that the tongue is, it speaks, vibrates. So if you're speaking words that are sattvic, then your tongue is also illuminated by knowledge. So all 9 holes, your nostrils, you're inhaling fragrances or smells which are sattvic, like a fresh flower fragrance, like that. So then your nose is also, these nostrils are also becoming illuminated by knowledge. Now you may get a question, okay, these 7 holes we understand, how can the, so what are the other 2 holes? One is anus and one is urinary, what do you call, the hole with which you pass urine. Okay, those 2 holes. How are they becoming sattvic? There it is explained that if you eat sattvic foods, then automatically they also become sattvic. They are also illuminated by knowledge. Okay? And because it is said genital, if you use the genital for the purpose for which it is created, right, for the sake of producing children, then that is also sattvic. That is also sattvic. Okay, now in coming verses, we will see about Rajasic. I'm telling you ahead of time. So in case of Rajasic, for this example, if the genitals are used for sense gratification, not for producing children, then that is not illuminated by knowledge. That becomes Rajasic in the modes of passion. So you understand now the 7 holes. So 9 holes, sorry. So this verse is saying that The manifestation of the mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge. All gates means these 9 holes are illuminated by knowledge. Jnanam yada tada vidyad vivriddham sattvam ityuta. So, what do you mean by they are illuminated by knowledge? Illuminated by knowledge means when the senses are grasping these holes, right? These holes are your senses. So through these senses, if you are grasping objects, sense objects that are in the mode of goodness, then these holes become illuminated by knowledge. That's all. That's all. But as an additional point, we have already discussed this, that it is not possible for you to remain in the mode of goodness all the time because there is competition. So better than being in goodness is to become transcendental. These 9 holes can also become transcendental. Instead of keeping them in goodness, you can actually make them transcendental. How do you make them transcendental? By giving transcendental objects. If your eyes are always seeing the transcendental objects, like what? The deity form, right? The devotees, pure devotees of the Lord, the Lord's temple, Rath Yatra. Your eyes are always seeing transcendental objects, then your eyes become transcendentalized. Your ears are always hearing transcendental sound vibration, ears become transcendentalized. With your mouth, you're always tasting only Krishna Prasad, that too for the pleasure of Krishna, not for my enjoyment. And with your tongue, you're always speaking only Krishna Katha about bhakti, then the tongue is becoming transcendentalized. It's not in goodness now, it's in Shuddha Sattva, like this. Again, you get this question, what about the genitals and anus? How can we transcendentalize that? They also have a role. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains. See, anus is meant to remove waste from your body. Similarly, the other hole is supposed to remove, urine from the body. So when this becomes accumulated in the body, then your mind will be disturbed. Your body is not in a proper condition. Your mind will be disturbed, because of which you won't be able to perform devotional service properly. So these 2 holes, by evacuating everything from the body, keeping the body fresh, are also assisting in devotional service. That's how they also become transcendentalized. So in other words, don't use any of your, your senses for anything except for devotional service. One example is also given here. Like when you sell, people who have cows, sometimes they sell them to another cow herd. So if you sell, then do you still worry about, oh, I wonder if my cow got food or not, I should go and check if my cow got... No, after you sell, you don't worry, because now it's the responsibility of the new master to feed that cow, to, give it water and everything. You don't worry about that. Similarly, a surrendered devotee, a surrendered Atma Nikshepaha is a symptom of surrender. Atma Nikshepaha means he gives everything, like his senses. Sometimes some devotees, they actually give one hand, like this hand, now I'm giving it to the Lord. That means with that hand, they don't do anything except devotional service. Nothing. Eating, washing, nothing. That hand will be used only for the Lord's service. It's not part of my body. I don't have to do anything. I've given it to the Lord. Like that, a surrendered devotee gives everything, not just one. Ambarish Maharaj. He used all his senses in the Lord's service. He didn't. So that means you don't have to worry about taking care of this or not, because it's not yours. Like that, cowherd who sells his cow, he doesn't worry about that anymore. Like that, a surrendered devotee, he gives everything, uses his eyes, nose, ears, tongue, everything only for the Lord's service, not for anything else. And does such a devotee worry about his maintenance, how this body will be maintained, how my family will be maintained? He won't worry. He won't worry. And the Lord also, like master, like servant. When a devotee becomes like that, dependent on the Lord becomes all, he's there walking behind the devotee all the time to make sure. Yogakshemam vahamyaham. He will carry behind that devotee, whatever that devotee needs. So, Sattva Guna, how all the holes are illuminated by knowledge is explained. They're illuminated by knowledge when the senses are engaged with objects that are in Sattva Guna. But that is also not a safe position. It may be good until we get Dhrida Shraddha. But eventually, actually, we should try to transcendentalize all these senses. How can we do that? By engaging them with transcendental objects, not just objects in the mode of goodness, but with transcendental objects all the time, all the time. Is it possible? Yes. Ambarish Maharaj did it. Okay. So we'll stop there today. Saturday morning for you. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त की जय।
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.